so small, and you were always there to catch me when I'd fall. In a world where heroes come and go, well, God just took the only one I know. So I'll hold you as close as I can, longing for the day when I see your face again. But until then, God must need another angel around the throne tonight. Your love lives on inside of me, and I will hold on tight. It's not my place to question, only God knows why. I'm just jealous of the angels around the throne tonight, singing hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I'm just jealous of the angels around the throne tonight.
Good night. Wonderful.
I'm sure that in part represents Paulette.
Oh, definitely. She was such a quiet, gentle soul, you know. Gave her
And it's one of the,
everything. Yeah, go ahead, man.
but by the way, in case you're wondering who sing it, it's Donna Target, and the song is called "Jealous of the Angel." It's one of the songs that make the road or the wave today at funeral services, especially if people die relatively young or unexpected or shocking deaths, that kind of thing. If you're elderly, well then they play different songs. But all the songs, like funeral songs, like Jim Reeves has a nice song, "This World Is Not My Home," and "I'll Fly Away." All of these songs, and this famous one, "How Great Thou Art," many of them speak to services, or you get them played at funeral services wherever they are held, and they're very touching and they're very moving, and they flashback memories sometimes.
But definitely, and Paulette touched many lives. You know what I mean? She worked at a popular restaurant in the heart of Bath there for over 25 years, called the Ballyhoo restaurant, and then she went into her own catering business and did training as well. And so a lot of our students were there to pay their respect and making pledges to continue the good culinary skills that she demonstrated.
Mm.
So that was very nice.
I could well imagine a very touching service.
Yeah.
How did Renford hold up on it?
Oh, he held up very well. I mean, his brothers and sisters were there and they sang a tribute together. His son also with the one that played on the drums or the instrumental medley. So, I mean, they come from a very musical family, so they made a very great impact on the program.
Mm.
Yeah, it was quite nice, It was very touching indeed, and all who were there were blessed by the experience and the testimonies shared.
I can well imagine. It's sad to know, especially when you lose someone at such short notice, whether they had sick illness or not, and once they were not in bed or anything of the sort, you tell yourself, because I went through the same experience, as I said before, that when my wife and I went to Barbados, she passed away there within days. And, nobody knows our time, nobody knows the hour, only God knows.
Well, she had some health challenges, which I'm privy to, but despite that, she was a go-getter, and that never kept her down. And, and she was very aware of her challenges, and that's why she was such a peaceful soul, that never want to make any confusion and will easily let go of situations and so on, and always trying to be a peacemaker, you know. And so we were thankful for her gentleness, her quietness, and you know, what I mean, her utility, her usefulness in the kitchen at the center. You know, what I mean, every time she was there, we could guarantee that something hot will be on the table when the time comes to eat. You know, and so she just loved being in the kitchen, and that was came out in the testimonies that she had dreamed of having a whole house as a kitchen. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, God knows best, and as I
God
said,
knows best.
you know, he give us the best for a short moment, just to for us to get eye openers and to sample greater things that we can aspire to, you know. Because sometimes when people who are so skilled around that others become lackadaisical and depending on them always. So, but they come to show us, teach us a few lessons, and then they move on, you know, to
Yeah. Yeah.
other fields where the
We are
good
all
Lord
here
has.
for a short time.
Yeah, and
Some people say we're living on borrowed time. They say all kinds of things, but you know, life has a circle.
yeah, but I
From
mean, we occupy the time, you know, we make best use of our time. I mean, the good book say redeem the time, you know. So time is our most valuable resource that we have access to, you know, and so we shall use it up and so that every moment
and
counts, you know.
it's so sad that many people do not value that.
Yeah.
They just go through life, you know, without any purpose of their own. Well, God have a purpose for all of us. And
Oh, definitely. And
we have to discover it. We have to work with it and make it work for us.
but I mean, our main purpose is to serve one another, you know, be of service, be a brother's keeper, be a help, you know, be a helpmate, you know, and support one another in general. I mean, this world is time is too short to be fighting and tearing down and destroying. I think where we could be building up for the better good of those come afterwards.
Well, in case you've just joined us, you're listening to Out of the Shadows and Into the Light, our Friday morning program here on this frequency and on the World Wide Web. And if you want to call us, I will ask the good doctor, to share the numbers, because you can call us and you can reminisce with us. We're paying tribute to Paulette, the wife of Brentford Daw, on today's program.
Yes, and you can get us on Facebook. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And the numbers to call, if you're calling via the WhatsApp or cell phone, is 869-669-7312. And you could also call if you're local on the landline, 469-7953. As someone said, most people are going away from fixed line, everybody living on mobile. So 669-7312 is the mobile line to get you. Or you could comment on the Facebook live stream. The YouTube and Twitch channels are not being monitored, so I cannot comment on those at this time. But yeah, we monitor the Facebook.
You still
live.
have the opportunity. There's still the opportunity for you to call either direct line, WhatsApp line, mobile line. So you can't say you didn't get the opportunity. You have it now. Make best use of it.
Yeah, so we have a caller coming in. Yes. Okay. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
You're live on 2020 Vision Radio, and that sound familiar voice like Gwen, right? How are you doing, my dear?
Oh, yes, you got it right, Dr.
Yes.
Lyman. Good morning, Rapani.
Good
Nice
morning,
to
my
see
dear.
you
Good
guys
morning.
this morning.
Yes.
I couldn't write in on Facebook, Dr. Lyman, because it's telling me comments disabled on the Facebook. So
Oh, really?
Facebook has its own challenges these
I
days.
give you a chance. I know.
Yeah.
I know Mr. Lone Ranger at the control, so I give you a chance.
No, try again because they coming from Clyde Lapsey and Raymond Walsh and Ivor Henry on the Facebook.
Okay.
On the Facebook live.
No,
All right,
but since they're here,
good
make your
morning,
statement.
Ivor. Ivor is doing a good work too.
Yeah.
He and Cecilia. Anyway, I'm just saying it was a beautiful service yesterday, Dr. Lyman. It was a beautiful service for my Paulette.
Wonderful. Yeah.
And yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. And I know in her spirit she enjoyed it also.
Oh, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. And Jam Forbes
Yeah.
is also
Yeah.
on the Facebook Live saying good morning to all.
Oh, well, probably it's a problem. We probably have to go out and then,
Probably.
rejoin again. But anyway, so yeah, I haven't spoken to Ren since it happened because I know that he's busy. I tried calling a few times and I didn't get him. But anyway, he did send me the link, so I got the link from Sister C, from Ali, so I was able to share it with some other folks here, so they were able to, you know, to see the service and listen. And anyway, like I say, I'm getting ready for work, so I just wanted to call in and say, you know, continue the good work, Dr.
Yeah, so
Liebert.
we do appreciate you calling
Continue
in.
the good work.
I think Bawani had a question for you before you went away.
Yeah,
No, no, no. It
okay,
was not a
I'm
question. It
listening.
was not a. It was not a question. I was just making a statement. Facebook have its own challenges these days. So it tells you all kinds of things. So we were happy to have you air your comments live and direct.
No problem, no problem.
Okay, well, you have a wonderful day, Gwen, and thanks for calling again as
Thank,
being always there for this program.
yeah, my pleasure, my
Okay,
pleasure. Okay,
okay,
have
bye
a
bye now.
great weekend, guys.
Bye bye now.
Okay.
Okay,
Have a
okay,
safe day.
bye.
Clock on the
Okay.
wall says 27 minutes after the hour. We'll take some. Let's see. Facebook, you have a couple of messages coming in.
Yeah, so we have
Good morning.
Ivor, we have Clyde
Mm,
Colley Lapsey, who is first on the ball. He said, good morning,
mm.
everyone. And Raymond Walsh saying good morning as well. Ivor Henry, happy Friday to everyone. And then Jam Forbes saying good morning to all. We thank God for new mercies. Thank the Lord for you guys. Thank you, Jam Forbes.
Right. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, life has to go on. Just and I know that when you lose a loved one, it's difficult sometimes. It could be lonely, it could be miserable, depending on what your status in life is. For example, if you live alone, or you and your companion were living together, and you suddenly the house seems empty,
Oh,
the
yes.
space is clear, and you just have to pick yourself up, occupy yourself. Because we say as I think, well, let me not quote the singer, but there's a song called This Too Shall Pass. Um, I should have sung that one as well, but, you know. So that is how it is, and life has to go on. I'm sure that Paulette would love Ren and all of us to continue the good work that we're doing, for the good of humanity. It's very good to know that we still have people who can take the mantle up and let it work for the benefit of all. All
But
right.
but the Lord
So
always sends someone to fill the gap and be a comfort in times of like this. So there are
mm,
always angels coming and going. What
yeah.
Jacob Ladder said, angels were coming and going up and down the ladder. So yeah, so we have that facility that the good Lord has provided that we could get to our journey, our destination safely in this earthly pilgrimage. And so
Feel free to.
And so we'll be reflecting, Bawani, that time is going. I mean, 20 years since the CRPD was enacted or promulgated, you know.
Right.
And that's been a conversation in the global media that,
Mm,
how have we progressed in 20 years? I mean, you're a person who's been living with disability all your life.
right.
And I have just come into this space in the last 16 years or thereabout since I discovered the CBR guidelines, looking for solutions to help my patients, and then I
Mm,
came across the CBR guidelines, and I was listening to a WHO, you know, meeting yesterday or the day before, and the whole world is beginning to recognize that you got to work with community, meaning every sector, finance, economic development, agriculture, heritage, local communities have to be part and parcel of the conversation. And and in the disability world, the CBR guidelines is helping us to build strong, secure, safe communities that are supportive of the members. That the resources are around us, but we got to build the network, build the connections, the collaboration, so that anyone who have a challenge can know who to go to, where to go to, and continue his life. Yeah, you were saying something, Bawane. Sorry to dominate the.
No, no, no. I was just saying, I'm happy that the organization have survived 20
Yeah,
years,
yeah,
The hardest thing is to start something
yeah,
positive, eh? But once you start and you get people interested and involved, it grows. For example, there are many organizations. There are one that I am very actively, well, and many I'm very actively involved in, like the Caribbean Council for the Blind, which, will be celebrating 60 years next year.
yeah,
PAVI, my local organization, the local organization. I don't like to claim anything as my own because it's a team effort. I don't like when people say my government or my party. Nothing is yours. The party, the government of the day. You understand? I don't know why people want to hold on to
yeah.
things.
Well,
When
the ego in us like to claim, you know,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, to be in ownership position. But it's just a manner of speak, so to speak, and I'm sure we can't make too much of those,
No, 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 no.
misspeak, but
But
that we gently guide our fellow men when they misstep, misspeak. That there's a better way, of doing
and
things.
the language is very unique and very
Yeah.
universal. And for
Hmm.
example, I would say, Dr. Libert, I'm gonna watch football,
Yeah.
Spain and Argentina. You will say, how come you're gonna watch football? What's wrong with you? But you're accustomed with the language, and that is important. So even though you cannot see, tell people, I'll see you tomorrow, no problem, and no harm
Yeah.
in that. That is English. That is language, you know?
But the concept of building awareness, being
Mm,
responsive to situations, and being there to provide support that others may need, so that everyone can enjoy what is on offer and
mm,
build that sense of equity, equality, that participation is important. I mean, it was so good to see those wheelchair users, making the determined effort that they have to go and support Paulette,
mm,
and support
mm,
Renford and be there to see Paulette off. And, and that's a spirit that we want to cultivate, throughout the society, that when a person have a challenge, whether it be visual, mobility, or whatever, that don't just lock them away and say, oh, too hard a problem to manage, but let's find
mm.
a solution. Let's see how we could help them to accommodate, to adapt to the new situation and to get on with life. I mean, someone sent a video of this gentleman who went to Vietnam in his early 20s, and he got blind there, and
Mm.
he had great ambition to become a popular singer, and but he kept singing despite his blindness, and but the dream of going on a world stage, what kind of push aside, because who will want to have a blind man on stage? But then his interest continued, and his granddaughter, you know, learned from him, and she
Mm.
created a platform where he could get get his singing out. I mean,
Mm.
a popular author. Let me just think.
And there are many people like that.
Yeah,
They become disabled for one reason
yeah,
or the other, but they continue to persevere. They might feel a little reluctant, a little pushback,
yeah,
but at the same time, when you continue to persevere, you will excel. In fact, I will tell you, here in Trinidad and Tobago, we have a gentleman who was a who is a policeman. He lost his sight
yeah,
at a very young age, 31, 32, and still continues to operate within the police service. Now, he may not be able to go and catch criminals and that kind of thing, but he's able to do the office work using technology and all of that. So it shows that you could make alterations and you could continue to be as useful not only to yourself, not only to maintain dignity and status like that, but also to your family, your community. You're still a breadwinner, you're still
Yeah.
doing things. And that is the important thing of rehabilitation. Once you're properly rehabilitated, you can adjust and accept.
Yeah.
The only thing a blind person will not be able to do is to drive a car, but you can do other things. Make yourself useful.
Well, I mean, cars and truck, okay, okay, I mean, those
No,
electric vehicles, automated
we are ready for
technology.
that in the
Yeah,
region.
yeah.
No, don't go there.
Well, we can aspire, and once we aspire, we will acquire, achieve, you know.
Of course, of course.
I mean, it's a
You
way
know,
there's a way, they will make a way, and we just have to
uh,
put the tracks in place to navigate the space safely,
mm,
and, you know, I mean, real technology, you know, take care of that, and everything goes on the circuit and the guided track, you know. You just have to know the distance between the different stops and program the stops and where to get off and get on. You know.
people feel free to call and contribute because your voices are important to this cause. And of course, reminding you of our sponsors, we have, of course, Bodies, Eureka Health Services, Papas, and RK Caterers, correct?
RTT Catering, yeah. RTT
RKKT.
Catering or Five Trees Bar and Lounge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the catering is done by RTT Catering.
Oh, RTT Cater. Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
But
So
the,
we got that, and we've got you online with us. So those who want to send a Facebook message, give us a call. We open because we are reminiscing a little bit, focusing on the passing of Brentford Dawes' wife, Paulette, and of course, encouraging and trying to motivate people towards making more of their lives and more of the opportunities given, you know, um, or provided for. Because gone are the days when wheelchair persons will just stay in a corner. Now we see they're taking the ferry, they're going here, they're going there. I mean, we have to provide specialized transport for them because they are not able to climb up the buses or the vans like the average individual will. But the main thing is that they are a part of our community. And I hope the church was accessible enough for that kind of things because it would be embarrassing to have a service on the second floor of a building
yeah.
where you have to lift the people up. You know?
Yeah, so I mean, we can try, I mean, and we keep pushing out these challenges to open your mind, open your your heart to see possibilities how we could help one another. And as we challenge each and everyone to see possibilities and don't just slam a door shut or say no, but let's see how we could make it possible. And that's the spirit that we want to cultivate, that where there is a will, we will find a way to
and,
make it
and
happen.
and don't just think, well, look, this cannot happen to me or that cannot happen to me. You never know what might befall you, you know, through one means or the other. In some countries, you would say accidents are very prevalent because of the number of vehicles, etc., because of the mad driving in some vehicles. In some cases, you might be doing construction and you fall off the building, you know, unfortunately, and you become incapacitated in one way or the other.
Yeah.
But you still have to forge on, you know.
Definitely, definitely, and and those of us who have the vision, we just have to go out there. I was discussing with another colleague. He's into agriculture, but sometimes we feel like lone rangers out there. But we just have to keep true to our vision, and the lone ranger will soon get company because once others see you persevering and they see your success, they see that your efforts are gaining progress, then people will come along and begin to join. But you have to live the dream, live the vision that you have, and then others will
You,
begin to see.
you,
Sometimes we try
you
to explain how to put it in paper, but a lot of people don't have that abstract thinking, and so they need to see concretization of what you're talking about.
you want to see hardcore
Yeah.
evidence.
So once you begin to translate your vision into action, into concrete things that people could see and handle, and they begin to get the sense of what you've been talking about. And so that lesson sometimes is learned painfully, but those of us who've been through it, we understand that doesn't just come by random act, but it comes through strategic implementation of a vision, And those who
Mm-hmm.
have the vision have to understand the change process and how to get that vision into reality. And too much a talk sometimes doesn't get you anywhere, but you just go out there and break ranks and begin to do what you have in mind to do so that others see what is
Yeah.
required, and then they will come and with their resources and other things to make it and to scale up the effort.
And sometimes you might have to try 3, 4 times before you get it right.
Exactly.
As it's not a first call scenario, depending on what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know.
But I have looked at this process of how technology has been incorporated. I could remember when computing first came, when I went to UWI, people used to write program and punch cards and give it to an operator who will push the punch card into the computer and they will come back at the end of the day to get the printout from the computer. But now
Mm.
everyone have a computer as powerful as those computers which fill a room this size, right? But the power is now in your hand as a cell
Yeah.
phone, and getting smaller by the day. The things that these can do, and so in that just short 20, 30 years, technology has progressed by leaps and bounds.
Significantly,
Yeah,
significantly. And I
yeah,
referred last week to audio Bibles. Gone are the days when you have to walk around with a big book. You have a nice little audio Bible looking like a transistor radio, and you could sit down and you could listen and, read and have it read to you. So, that's to show you the power of technology and the advancement of technology today on our society.
yeah.
You know,
And but someone have to be there to bridge the gap to try and progress,
Somebody
and
have to break the ice.
yeah, and begin to dream, and then we begin to figure out the ways of bridging the gap and getting from A to B, and different modes of communication, transportation has been developed to our forefathers, dare to dream, and so we cannot prevent that process, and we must encourage it, and that's how humanity will continue to evolve, to go from strength to strength and discover new ways of surviving and doing things.
If we had to take a flashback on life, remember the days, well, there were no cars, little buggies, there were donkey carts
Yeah,
and horses, and today you have a car that can take you from point A to point B, irrespective of how many miles you have to go, you're getting there.
yeah,
You understand? Okay, let's look at the boat. Long time when you had to receive a shipment of stuff from, let's say, England, which many of us are familiar with, the boat will take 6 or 7 weeks to arrive here. Months. Now it takes a shorter piece. Even flying on a plane, you in St. Kitts today, and tomorrow you could be in New York, or later today you could be in New York for 5 hours, and that's the advances of development.
yeah. When you take 6 weeks by boat to go from Caribbean to Europe or even longer, when they
Right.
had sail only, but you know, technology is just, and with all these hypersonic, you know, rocket
Mm-hmm.
that's circling the world and making warfare, when those begin to be put towards, you know, productive use, I mean, we could
Mm-hmm.
see that you could get stuff from the Far East to the Caribbean within hours, instead of taking days or weeks.
Yeah, and that's the advancement that we witnessing. We in a different time
Yeah.
zone, in terms of the advances that happen, but we cannot and must not throw away some of the old values in life. Right? That is important. Must not throw away our old values.
But the value of caring mean that those intangibles were compassion,
Mm.
being patient, you know, tolerant, mean don't be too judgmental, don't be too hasty to condemn something before you give it a proper look over, because everything in life can be repurposed, can be redeployed and used by somebody else in different ways, And so before you throw that thing in the rubbish and destroy it, let somebody else who might have more use for it have it, or somebody who could repurpose it, have it, and so the world is coming to that stage where recycling, what they call it, circular economy, is the buzzword, where things are being stripped apart and repurposed, recycled in different ways, separating your garbage at source, your paper, your plastic, your glass, your cans in different containers, and it goes to specific recycling systems thereafter.
Well, we have not fully reached that. I know in the metropolitan countries like Canada, they do that very extensively.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens in the smaller territories.
Well, they have just started that project here, to
Right.
separate your plastic and your
Recycling,
from your plant and other waste, Yeah, and even plant waste, they try to put that back into mulching, gardening circles,
Yeah.
So
You
those
call your-
conversations by the Solid Waste Management Corporation here is very current now, But
Well, that-
but we
that
into
is-
the human sphere, livelihood. I mean, disability work is following along that same line. People,
Us.
a person who's doing one job and they can't do that job anymore because of a physical impairment, they can still work. They can still earn a decent income, And we have to see those possibilities that not because a person is blind, they cannot get a job to do, and so we need to look at all those possibilities that we can't waste our human resource or human potential because a person can't walk, they can't sit at a desk, and operate a computer, answer the telephone, make linkages with different customers, do marketing. You don't have to go on the street running around. You could do everything from a computer, a desktop. So being persons with disabilities can be given a useful work to do and earn a decent income that build their self-esteem, they become more valuable to the societies, the families.
Us.
And so that concept of rehabilitation, repurposing, needs to be aware of and developed so that we don't waste our human potential, because 15% of the population or more can have a disability. And that's a big chunk of humanity to
Yeah.
to go to waste, so we have to develop that human potential. And the CBR strategies, CBR guidelines, are geared toward that concept of seeing humanity, holistic rehabilitation at a community level, where the community sees potential in everyone and provide the education, provide the relevant skill development, the mentorship, guiding, the assistive technologies and so on, facilitation, the policy frameworks so that their human rights are protected, so that they could get on with life and they could feel secure in what they do, they feel welcome, part of the society, and they're contributing like everyone else. And that builds our human capital, human potential. People are valued and feel well included.
And an old adage says it's better to teach a man to fish for life than feed him for a day.
Exactly.
But when you teach him to fish, he will get his own resources, etc., etc. But when you feed him and he become dependent on you after a while, if things have to run low, run short, or you cannot deliver, then where does he stand? Where does he or she stand? It's like your parents telling you, well, you have a disability, and if I pass away today, tomorrow, your brother or sister will take charge of you. Some do, many don't, unfortunately. They cast you aside, they knock you down, they pull you down, and only wait for the little pittance that you get, government assistance. And sometimes they don't even feed you for more than 2, 3 days with that because they have their hairdo, they have their nail do, and their priorities with your money is more important to them
Yeah.
than your priority with your money,
Yes,
you know?
so I mean, all these leads to the quality of life issues that everyone can enjoy, and the sustainable development goals also speak to that
Mm-hmm.
outcome where people are enjoying the full potential at all stages of life and good health, you know, productivity, and they included. And I mean, it just makes it such a joy that a person doesn't have to feel dependent always, but they could, I said, you know, come and go at their leisure and pleasure because we have made the environment accessible, inclusive, where they have their autonomy, their self dignity, uh, and they contribute their
Self-worth and
self worth. Yeah,
self-worth. Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Mm-hmm. I like the tagline of the Sustainable Development Goals, which says no one is left behind. And we as advocates, we as organization leaders have to ensure that our members, our people are also included in or in everything as far as humanly possible so that no one gets left behind, you know. And then the DPI has a philosophy which says nothing about us without us. If you're going to build something, if you're going to do something, consult with us. We, with our experience, with our know-how, have gone through the run-of-the-mill situation, and we know, we have ideas of how it should be done to accommodate everything. Because it makes no sense to say I'm building a ramp and the ramp is too steep, or it's the grading is too coarse, so you create more problems rather than you assist. Yeah, you just build a ramp and say, all right, I build a ramp in front of XYZ store, and that is it. But is the ramp useful? So consultation
Yeah, the consultation,
is
the
important.
collaboration, the brainstorming,
Mm.
looking at the problem together. I mean, I say that three eyes are better than two, than one. You know, so
Yes, yes, yes.
three people looking at a problem with without any hang-ups. You know, can brainstorm and and get to a very safe, practical, economical solution in that works well, and that's what human development should speak to, where you respect
Mm.
everyone, that everyone have a voice to add to the conversation, and so that
We,
everyone at the end of the day have a shared ownership in that process, in that outcome.
we all need to take a more angle approach rather than being only the problem makers. Be the solution people, because you know everybody. Every day you hear people complaining, boy, this stuff, that stuff, yeah, that stuff, and what are they doing about it? Are they empowering themselves? Are they making changes to their lifestyle, etc., etc., instead of just being complainants and complaining all the time? You know, and life is about that.
Yeah, it's about
God gives us the
problem
opportunity.
solving, finding solutions to difficult challenges,
Mm.
overcoming obstacles, building bridges, and building relationships that are mutually beneficial and productive.
And every day we live, it's a new page in our book. I always say that each year represents a new book in our life journey. It is made up of 12 chapters, 365 pages.
Yeah,
Each chapter represents either 30, 31, or very not so often 28 days,
yeah.
you know, and that's how we should view life.
Yes, definitely. So just some reminders again for folks here on Nevis that our Day Center program is not operating today because those of us who went down, we had a long day yesterday, and some of us have other commitments today which will preclude us from going to the Day
Mm.
Center program. And we are planning to take a vacation from the 24th. So next Friday will be our last program for this term. We will close. It's a holiday, festive season coming up here in Nevis, the annual summer festival called the Culturama. And so everyone will be in festival mode, so we will just take a break. And we plan to resume on the 17th of August, Monday the 17th of August, God spare our lives. And we look forward to the new term. We hope to have a general meeting on Wednesday the 22nd at 2 p.m. A general meeting just to discuss plans, and one of our government officials have been invited to come and join us, share with us, and see how we could have that conversation to get some more help from the government agencies and department and so.
Maybe if the speeches can be recorded and edited for presentation, we could look at it at some time.
Yeah, but no, this will be just private discussion planning meeting.
Okay.
Not suitable for public broadcast.
We leave that alone.
Yeah,
Leave that alone.
yeah.
Wish you all success with the AGM or your general meeting.
Yeah, just to bring the group members together and review the term and begin to plan forward for the next term as well. And of course, the government official who we have invited to come and join us, we will be lobbying and exploring avenues of how we could get more support.
Great.
from the
Sounds like a
government.
great idea.
Then
Well, it's almost time to wrap up, so we might as well get into wrap-up mode.
Yeah. Yes, so Bawande, you've been great company these last couple of weeks, and I'm sure in new weeks and months to come, and we will meet again before the next Friday to discuss and brainstorm our continued radio broadcast across the airwaves of the Caribbean. We'll make it get stronger and stronger. That you've been such a great ally. I'm happy to have found you. Thanks.
Listeners, let me tell you, listeners, let me let you know that between 6:45 and 6:55, Dr. Liebert will shoot a WhatsApp call to make sure I am here.
Yeah.
But it's always a pleasure beyond myself to be of service. And it's only in case of emergency, well, then situations will change. But other than that, I have put this on my calendar for Friday that I have to be on the air from 7 to 8 in the AM.
Yes, thank you so much, folks. And so, as we wind down this week's program, we thank you for listening in to 2020 Vision Radio 102.1 FM, and we are streaming live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. And so, time to say who we are again.
Eureka Health Services and 2020 Vision Radio presents Out of the Shadows and Into the Light with host Dr. Glenville E. Liebert and special guests. Join us every Friday at 7 a.m. as we promote awareness of disability issues to affect policy and social change for the better. Be a part of the conversation by calling 1-869-469-7953 or 1-869-765-7312. You can also WhatsApp call 1-869-669-7312. And don't forget our Magic Jack number 917-460-2187. Every Friday at 7 a.m. we bring you out of the shadows and into the light. Sponsored by Eureka Health Services in collaboration with 2020 Vision Radio.
Are you concerned about your health? Come on, everyone should be. The old people say that who don't pay a doctor will pay a pastor, or someone will for you. So before it reaches to that stage, come on in and visit Eureka Health Services in Ramsbury. Dr. Liebert and his associates at Eureka will take excellent care of you. They're friendly, experienced, and professional. So call them at 1-869-469-0521 or 1-869-662-5187. And for more information, just visit their website at www.
Bodies, Buddies for the easy way. Yes, Buddies is here just for you, offering a wide array of services. Feeling hungry? Then check us out at Buddies Restaurant and Pizzeria on Main Street, Charlestown for breakfast, lunch, and evening snacks. Call us at 469-0125. Too busy for laundry? Then Buddies Laundry Services on Stony Grove is here for you. We wash, we clean,
Computer
we
Institute,
clothes
serving you with
every
distinction
occasion.
since
Be it
1993.
work,
Located on
school,
Shiloh
church,
Baptist Road,
wedding,
Ramsbury,
you
St.
name it,
Nevis,
we
we
do
offer
it.
primary
Call
and
us
secondary
at
school children
469-0889.
courses, basic,
We
intermediate,
make
advanced,
you
and
look chic
university
and
level adult
stylish.
courses, CSEC EDPM, Cape Computer Science, and CSEC or Cape Information Technology. You can become proficient in computer maintenance and repairs, books accounting, computer programming, web page design, and Microsoft Office, which includes Word, Excel, Access, PowerPoint, and publishing. Other services include printing, copying, scanning, internet and computer rental, accounting, computer programming, hardware and software installation, data recovery, and much more. We are open at 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. from Monday to Friday and 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturdays. For more information, find EC Computer Institute on Facebook or contact 469-5742 or 469-0493 or 668-3032. Remember, computer literacy today enables occupational mobility tomorrow.
EC Computer Institute, Ramsbury site, Charlestown, Nevis, will be conducting its annual 3-week Children's Summer Computer and Educational classes from August 10th to August 28th. Classes will be